currently on the Wikipedia page for the 86th Annual Academy Awards, and they were hosted on March 2nd, 2014. And I have to say, I really enjoyed watching the show. I thought Ellen DeGeneres was a really funny host. Some of the stuff she did as a host in terms of the pizza and the selfie, I thought was very interesting and very refreshing to see. Now, in terms of the awards, I was pretty surprised, I have to say, by some of the choices that the Academy made. I don't think I was able to predict all of them correctly, though I got most of them right. I was really shocked at the fact that Gravity ended up winning 7 awards and not Best Picture. The thing is, the record for the most awards won without winning Best Picture is held by Cabaret, which won 8 awards, and it ended up losing to The Godfather, which also won 3 awards and Best Picture that year. And of course, 12 Years a Slave won, which I was not at all surprised by. I was very happy to see. Apart from that, Dallas Buyers Club won 3 awards, which I think is really great for a small, more individual film like that. And considering the content of the film, to really get a larger voice, and maybe, it will end up encouraging more people to watch it. I think that's a really good thing. Frozen ended up winning 2, The Great Gatsby ended up winning 2, and I'll get to all of that in a moment. So let's just break down the awards. Best Visual Effects, Gravity, of course, deserved. Best Film Editing, I thought 12 Years a Slave could take it, because a lot of people tend to have this theory that, if you don't win Best Director, and I knew that Gravity was definitely going to win for Best Director, then if you win Film Editing, you're still almost a front runner for Best Picture, and you could still definitely take home the award, as Argo did the previous year. It ended up winning 3 awards, and one of them was Film Editing, so I thought 12 Years a Slave would win Film Editing, though Alfonso Cuarón ended up winning 2 awards this night, and not Best Picture. He may be disappointed by that, but nonetheless, Gravity is not a bad choice. Costume design went to The Great Gatsby. I thought American Hustle might have taken it, but The Great Gatsby, again, I was not so shocked. Dallas Buyers Club for makeup and hairstyling, of course. And again, production design for The Great Gatsby, I thought Her would have ended up winning. The thing is, Her ended up winning 1 award for screenplay, which is great. Gravity ended up winning 7. I thought Gravity could end up getting best production design in this case. Didn't end up happening, though. Of course, things like cinematography and whatnot, sound mixing, sound editing, all the various technical categories are things that I think Gravity deserved to win in. Now, with regards to song, I thought Mandela Long Walk to Freedom had a shot, considering it won the Golden Globe, but Let It Go, of course, deserved it. And once again, original score, I was not surprised at all. And now here is where the real shockers came in. The thing is, most people got their predictions wrong in the documentary feature, the documentary short, the live action short, and the animated short. In terms of the animated short, a lot of people are expecting Get a Horse to win because it was Disney, but I think, all of these are ultimately screened for the Academy voters, and I'm sure most of them end up watching it, and therefore, it's these awards that really, kind of shocked people in a sense. They were expecting different films to win, and that didn't end up happening. So Mr. Hublot ended up winning instead of what a lot of people thought Get a Horse would win. Live action short, a lot of people were rooting for The Voorman Problem. It's the only English one, and it has Martin Freeman, which is a pretty big deal. Helium won, and from the little glimpse of Helium that they showed us, I thought, it definitely looked interesting to me. Documentary, I was a little surprised by because I thought The Act of Killing would end up winning. But 20 Feet from Stardom has been getting a lot of buzz lately as well, as has The Lady in Number 6. So I'm not so shocked by all of these, but they definitely didn't come in line with my predictions and with the predictions of a lot of people as well. Now, foreign language film The Great Beauty was a definite lock, as was animated feature, and there's no surprise. And adapted screenplay, here's the thing with the adapted screenplay. When John Ridley went up to accept his award, Steve McQueen and John Ridley, they're set to have a bit of a feud because Steve McQueen wanted part of the writing credit for 12 Years a Slave, but John Ridley said no to that. And I think that, that kind of caused a feud. Steve McQueen was said to have approached the WGA and the MPAA to try and get part of the writing credit in the studio as well, and that didn't end up happening. And there's a real big feud between the two. And when John Ridley went up to take his award, and when he started giving the speech, John Ridley did not thank Steve McQueen, and Steve McQueen did not look too happy when John Ridley won either. He was clapping, sure, because it was for 12 Years a Slave, but he just didn't seem that happy to me. Original screenplay, Her, Spike Jonze is a great choice. I thought David O. Russell could have taken it. I was very disappointed with the fact that American Hustle did not win anything. The thing is, American Hustle had 10 nominations and won 0 awards, which was so disappointing because I absolutely loved American Hustle. And The record for the most nominations without any wins is in fact 11. I think it's held by All About Eve and a few other films. So, American Hustle once again came close. It's unfortunate. I really loved the film. I thought a costume design or a screenplay were kind of a lock, but that didn't end up happening. Now, supporting actress Lupita Nyong'o, her speech was lovely, of course. And supporting actor Jared Leto, once again, great speeches, great talents. They definitely deserved it, and I was not surprised at all. Best actress and best actor, once again, the locks. And I loved Matthew McConaughey's speech. I absolutely loved it. A lot of people were saying Leonardo DiCaprio lost out on the Oscar. Well, I mean, I don't think he lost out on anything. To lose to McConaughey, at least, that performance of his was amazing. The speech he gave was brilliant. Leonardo DiCaprio was also nominated as a producer on The Wolf of Wall Street, and that didn't end up winning, which is unfortunate. Nonetheless, though, I was very pleased to see McConaughey win. I think he's a great personality, and he's got a long career ahead of him in Hollywood for sure. And now to the big awards, really. Best Director, Alfonso Cuarón, as the night progressed. As I said, Gravity had won 6 awards before Best Director had been given, and I thought to myself, if for some reason 12 Years a Slave needs to win Best Picture, it is either going to win for Best Director, that is Steve McQueen, or maybe even Best Actor, which had not been given before Best Director had been given. And the thing is, it didn't end up winning either of those. And when we reached the Best Picture award, I thought to myself that Gravity was probably going to be the winner. And I thought that was really different, although Gravity and 12 Years a Slave did tie at the Producers Guild Awards. I mean, 12 Years a Slave won the BAFTA, the Golden Globe, the Critics' Choice Award. It was pretty hard to take the Oscar away from a film like 12 Years a Slave, but 12 Years a Slave ended up winning. I was extremely happy to see it win. Like I said, Steve McQueen's speech, he was so nervous at the time, and you could see Benedict Cumberbatch laughing at that in the background. I thought that was really funny. And I mean, overall, from the perspective of the Best Picture films at least, Nebraska and Philomena, they were relatively smaller. Even though Nebraska had a Best Director nomination, I wasn't really sure that they were going to end up winning awards. Captain Phillips didn't end up winning anything, which, I thought a sound mixing award it probably could have ended up winning, which didn't happen. And then with regards to the other films, The Wolf of Wall Street, I thought initially it was the front runner for adapted screenplay. It didn't end up winning because, 12 Years a Slave, of course. And I don't think it won at a lot of the other award shows as well, simply because of the fact that it has extremely lurid content. Apart from that, Dallas Buyers Club got so much representation, which is a good thing. It's a film about AIDS and LGBT and everything. And I think that a film like that is not something that often gets a representation at the Academy Awards. Like if you take a look at some of the earlier winners, even if they weren't Best Picture winners, films with this kind of content, I think maybe the last I can remember with relation to LGBT was Milk, that ended up winning 2 Oscars. So that's a good thing. And of course, great job for Dallas Buyers Club. American Hustle, I still can't believe, with 10 nominations, 4 acting nominations. By the way, it's the first film since the 23rd Academy Awards to have all 4 acting nominations and not win an acting award. I thought Jennifer Lawrence could end up taking it. David O. Russell was probably disappointed, even though he seemed really happy and he cheered, Spike Jonze and everything. There was footage of him clapping when someone else won in a category that he was nominated for. So I thought in terms of sportsmanship, it was great. Though I was really hoping to see American Hustle win something or the other. I'm pretty sure, though, that David O. Russell is definitely going to get an Oscar very, very soon. Apart from that, Gravity, congratulations, Gravity. 7 Academy Award wins, and little surprised, though, that it didn't win Best Picture. I mean, I just imagine how, the cast and crew of Gravity would feel thinking, they reached so close. They won 7 awards. I mean, you have Best Picture winners. The previous year's Best Picture winner won 3 awards. The year before that, it was just 4. And I mean, the last time a film won 8 awards with Best Picture was in 2008 with Slumdog Millionaire. Even The Hurt Locker, which won Best Picture, won less awards than Gravity did. And it's not uncommon that the most awarded film ends up not winning Best Picture. But when you compare 7 to 3, I mean, it was a little surprising that Gravity didn't win. Nonetheless, it won a lot. It got so much recognition. It's going to be a film that's going to be remembered. But I think 12 Years a Slave, it's a beautiful film. It strived in a lot of places. Lupita Nyong'o's performance got recognition, which was great to see. The screenplay got recognition, and as well as the film. And I mean, 12 Years a Slave is a film, it tells such a beautiful character, emotional kind of story. And I think that, and of course, the subject of the film is ultimately racism and slavery. And I think really giving an image and kind of promoting this film almost that the Academy has done in a way by granting it Best Picture at one of the most well-renowned award shows that to occur all year. I think it's a great deal, and I think it's a good thing done. Although, unfortunately, there were some voters who said they did not watch the film and yet voted for it. That I find a little disappointing. I'm sure, though, that most of the other Academy voters would have ended up watching it and then voting for it. All in all, though, the 2013, well, technically 2013, 2014, the 86th Annual Academy Awards were, in my opinion, fun to watch, definitely enjoyable in terms of a show. They did have a couple of montages with relation to heroes as well, which was great to see. Apart from that, the awards, I was pretty happy to see most of the awards. Again, American Hustle would have been great, but recognizing a film like 12 Years a Slave is essential. I think it's purely essential at this point in time. I was happy to watch it. I would love to know your thoughts, and I cannot wait for next year's Academy Awards.